welcome to today's video. I'm going to do a quick run through of my top tips for new mums. Now I have 2 children and I know that there were so many things that I didn't know about, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know basically how to parent, and so I found videos just like this one really helpful and reassuring. So I'm going to do a really quick run through, mainly because my battery is about to run out, on my top tips for single mums. So let's get straight into it. My first top tip for single mums is try to keep the announcement of your pregnancy delayed until at least 12 weeks. Now I know there are some suspicions that not delaying it or revealing it really early can sort of bring doom and gloom upon the pregnancy. My reasoning is not because of that. I think that delaying it is good because if you reveal it too early, say at the 7-8 week mark, it makes your pregnancy go on forever. So the longer you can delay it for, the shorter your pregnancy appears, and nobody wants to feel like they are pregnant forever. On the same kind of note, my next tip is do not buy everything too early. Again, it makes you feel like you're pregnant forever. You've got all this lovely baby stuff sitting around you and it's just sitting there for months and months on end, and you just feel like you're never ever going to get to use it. But also, people are going to give you gifts, people are going to buy things for you, and if you leave shopping till towards the end, it gives you purpose and it gives you things to do to fill up the time that you'll find you have plenty of towards the end of your pregnancy. My third tip for new mums is do not buy everything, full stop. Just don't buy everything. You do not need to buy everything. There is a list of things to buy and half of the things on that list you don't need. You don't need a baby bath, you don't need a changing station. There are so many things and they tend to be really expensive that you just don't need. So don't go crazy buying everything. And again, towards the end of your pregnancy, if you're lucky enough to have a baby shower, people will buy you those items and therefore you probably wouldn't have needed to spend the money on them anyway. My next tip, don't be afraid to tell people to bugger off when they offer you unwanted advice about your pregnancy, labour and how to be a mum. We all know it's not easy being a mum, and we all know that each of us are really individual as people, parents, as humans, so we all do things very differently. The likelihood is that if somebody is offering you tons of advice about how to do it, you're not going to agree on everything. So don't be afraid to just say, I appreciate your ideas and your opinion, but I'm going to do it this way, or I'm going to try it my way. Do it your way. You're an individual. You know what you're doing. You know your body. You know your baby. So just do it your way. Do not listen to the bombardment of advice that you will receive. When your baby eventually gets here, and it is honestly the best part, having a brand new baby and you've just come home, but don't be afraid of delaying guests. If you want to have some time alone with your baby at home when she's first here, then don't be afraid of telling people that you're not quite ready to have guests over yet. I know that things like your mum, mother-in-law or partner's mum and family are going to want to come around pretty soon, but don't be afraid of saying no. Different people feel differently about this. You might be really comfortable with having lots of people around. You might just want some time to get to know your baby in the first few days without a massive onslaught of viewers and people watching you. If you choose to breastfeed your baby, then don't doubt yourself. Trust your body, trust your boobs, and don't listen to the advice of everybody else. Your family and friends, cousins, sisters, brothers, Goldfish's ex-owner will want to tell you their advice on how to breastfeed, and they will probably tell you that you're doing it wrong, and they'll probably tell you that it's easier to formula feed, and really that is not the kind of advice, if you do want to breastfeed, that you want to be hearing. So don't listen to family or friends as much as they mean well. Get the help of a professional. Also, when your baby is here, do not allow people to make you feel stupid, guilty, inadequate, or like you're failing as a parent. We all know it's difficult, it's not easy, but there should be no one that tells you you're doing it wrong. If there are people in your life telling you that you are parenting wrong, then those people need to not be in your life. Now that's so much easier said than done if that person is your closest family member. But really, people should be keeping their opinions to themselves when it comes to parenting. So don't listen to the negativity. You're going to be flooded with emotions and hormones as it is. You do not need to hear the advice and opinions of other people, especially if it differs from your own, or even worse, it's negative. My next tip for new mums is keep your baby close to you as much as you can, day and night, in the first 6 months. It feels like a really, really long time, but honestly, keeping your baby close, or calling it kangaroo care, where your baby is just constantly against your skin, it really makes such a difference to parenting, to life, to your baby. It also is a physiological difference to your baby. Your baby's brain grows differently. It grows at an exponential rate. So, and also it stops babies crying. Babies cry so much less when they're close to their mums. So try not to put your baby down and walk away for extended periods of time, or give them over to other caregivers. Try to keep your baby as close physically to you as possible in the first 6 months, and I can guarantee it will make your life so much easier. My next tip for new mums is try to get outside as soon after the birth as possible. Now, I don't mean go out drinking or go to the pub, or drop your baby off at your friend's house and go out. I mean, get outside. If you've got a garden, just pop outside and sit on a bench, or sit on the floor on a picnic blanket. If it's winter, go for a quick stroll around the block. Just do something that gets you outside as soon as you're physically capable and ready to. The sun, whether it's winter sun or summer sun, will make such a difference to you, your well-being, and how you feel. So get outside, be outside amongst nature, and you'll be shocked. It's like a cleansing process. It makes you feel so good. My next tip is ask your partner to have some skin-to-skin time with your baby. Now, babies love being against skin. They love being close to their parents. It's where they feel safe and comfortable. It's where their needs are always met. So whether it's you or your partner, babies love skin to skin. So in order to get some rest, ask your partner to have skin to skin with the baby. The baby will no doubt sleep beautifully. It goes back to when I said keep your baby close to you at all times. Babies sleep amazing when they're in skin to skin. So let your partner have skin to skin with the baby, and that will guarantee you a good couple of hours of sleep. My next tip is let people help with the housework and food prep. If people are coming over and visiting, ask them to help out, ask them to do a quick job, or if they're already offering, let them do it. I know it's probably not to your standards, you might not feel too comfortable with what they're doing, maybe you are a clean freak and the way they clean is not to your standards. Who cares? They're doing something, they're out of your way, and they're helping, they're making a difference to you in your environment. Let them do it, let them cook you meals. Don't argue, don't fight with them, don't tell them to stop, don't feel guilty. And even better, if you haven't got people offering to help you in those ways, hire a cleaner. That just extra mop and clean and dust and tidy away will make such a difference. It will give you more time and it will reduce your stress levels, which helps with breastfeeding. My next tip is don't allow your baby to be passed around like a parcel when families or friends are over, or if you're out. It doesn't feel nice for the baby to be passed around from person to person, but it also is not a nice experience for you, and you'll notice it when people start passing your baby around. It's the most precious thing you'll ever have in your life. And so to watch it be handed from person to person and different people handling them, some people might be rougher than others, some people might be less gentle than you, it doesn't make you feel good. It affects your hormones and your emotions. So don't allow your baby to be passed around from person to person, because generally it just makes you feel like crap. My next tip is when you are going out and about, always carry spare clothes and always carry a few too many nappies. You just cannot be too careful when it comes to this. My little girl used to have absolute punamis. She would shoot shit all up her pack, and it would just create such a mess. And there are so many times when I had gone out and that would happen, I'd have to buy new outfits whilst I was out because I just didn't bring enough spare with me. So always carry spare baby grows, vests and nappies, and if that does happen, then you are at least prepared. My next tip, if you do decide to breastfeed, then breastfeed on demand. Just breastfeed as and when the baby needs it. You cannot overfeed a breastfed baby, so if in doubt, whip it out. You'll probably receive advice, again, from your loving and doting family and friends on the fact that you are feeding your baby too much or responding too quickly to their needs and creating a rod for your own back. Just ignore that ridiculous saying, ignore those ridiculous comments. We have survived by feeding on demand for millenniums, absolute millenniums. There is no need to fret that we are suddenly creating bad habits by feeding on demand in this day and age. Just do it, it will make your life easier, it will make your baby happier. What more could you want? My last and not least tip is just don't bother with all the expensive gadgets and gifts and gizmos. Babies do not give a toss what you buy. They don't care if you've got the latest chair that kind of swivels and rocks and vibrates and jumps up and down. They couldn't give a crap. They would rather just be cuddled up on your chest. There's no need to buy expensive gadgets, gizmos and tech for your baby. They don't care, nor do they even know any of this crap exists. Just you. Your baby only wants you as your mum. And how amazing is it to know that this tiny little thing wants you in their world and nothing else. So don't buy all the crap. If other people buy it for you, then great, it saved you buying loads of stuff and spending all your money on it and leaves you spare money to buy pretty little clothes. But realistically, all your baby needs is you, so just be there for your baby. So that's it for all my tips for this video. I hope you found them useful. If you did, let me know down in the comments, what other tips would you give to new mums? Because we've all got advice and opinions on what we should give to new mums. So I'd love to know what your advice is. Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a nice big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Bye!